For my entire fitness journey, I've been bulking from the start. I was always a super skinny, insecure kid, so since day one, my main concern has always been I need to get less skinny. Don't get me wrong, my bulking was far from perfect. I didn't track my calories consistently. I went through periods of not training, and I went through a phase where I was just chasing deadlift PRs instead of volume progression. But regardless, my end goal has always been muscle growth, which is why it was pretty painful to see my progress just dissipate during the 2020 lockdown. I went almost 2 months barely eating and never lifting, and honestly, it was one of the most down bad states I've ever been in, both mentally and physically. And I lost 20 pounds of lean mass, putting my weight at around 135 pounds.
I was the smallest dude in the gym today. I looked like I don't belong there.
Never again. Fast forward to 2022, I bulked, both clean and dirty, to a peak weight of 189 pounds. But that came at a price. I was fluffier than ever, hitting plateaus in the gym, and having to pound over 4,000 calories a day just to see the scale budge. But at the same time, I know I couldn't start a cut. Even though for a natural, I feel like 189 pounds at 5'11 is a solid weight, I knew that underneath all that fat was a physique that I just wouldn't be happy with, especially shoulders and arms, which have been the bane of my bodybuilding journey. However, I still needed a change. I've heard the phrase mini cut thrown around a few times, but I always thought it was just a regular cut short. But after some research, I realized it could be one of the most underutilized tools for bulking. So in the summer of 2022, I decided to give it a shot. The mini cut has 3 main purposes. Number 1 is simply to trim off a little fat from the bulk. If you've been on that perma bulk life, you probably know that just losing a couple percentages of body fat can make the difference between looking at yourself in the mirror or not. So while it's not the most important benefit for me, temporarily improving your aesthetics is a nice plus for your mental health and the Instagram feed. Plus, this size reduction also makes room to put on more muscle, which is kind of the whole point of bulking. Because as a natural, once you reach a certain weight that your body likes to stay at, it gets harder and harder to put on mass. Number 2, to resensitize your body to training. During our bulking phases, we're consistently chasing progressive overload, adding weight, adding reps, until eventually we plateau. So this is where a temporary phase where you drop the training volume, such as a deload or a mini cut, is a nice little refresh for our bodies. Number 3 is to recover your appetite. I was maxed out on my eating capacity, so to go any further would probably result in me drinking olive oil or going full dirty bulk mode, which would be catastrophic both for my health and my wallet. So if doing this meant I could go back into bulking with an appetite again and potentially being able to eat less than before, that would be almost worth it on its own. However, this is not a get out of bulking jail free card, and these benefits come with a cost, which I'll reveal later. So here's how a mini cut works. Unlike a regular cut, which when done right is a process of gradually lowering the calories in increments of like 200 to 300 over a period of months, this starts right off the bat with a drastic drop in calorie intake. And for me, that meant taking 1,000 calories out of my daily intake. Put me at around 3,000 to 3,200 calories a day, which to some may sound like a lot, but for me, that's like a 25% deduction in calories. Advertisement, bro. That shit looks sick, bro, not gonna lie. Keep in mind the numbers are gonna be a little different for everyone, but for me, I was trying to lose around 1% of body weight a week. Next, we obviously can't maintain the level of training we were doing at peak bulk. We simply don't have the fuel to do so. So instead of progression in the gym, we want muscle maintenance. For me, this meant reducing my total training volume by around 20 to 30% and consciously not trying to go up in weight or reps, just keeping what I got. Now, let me clarify, this does not mean you can go RP3 on your sets and take like 4 rest days a week, because you'll lose even more muscle and strength. I also didn't add any cardio to this besides my daily walk, which to that some may say, oh, well, couldn't you do more cardio so you can eat more? While obviously cardio is great for general health and burning calories, at such an extreme deficit, this is essentially frying your legs beyond their ability to repair. And for most bulkers like myself, a good time frame for the mini cut seemed to be between 4 and 6 weeks. But I felt fat and I wanted to see and feel a difference, so I set out for 6 weeks. But luckily, it was just water weight, which a bloat lord like myself could afford to lose. And surprisingly, only a couple weeks in, I was already experiencing hunger, enough to make me even switch up the foods I was eating for more filling options.
I'm gonna be subbing out my lovely muffins for these muffins,
because I realized, especially after day 1, that I was still eating over 1,000 grams of fat, and thus I'm not able to eat as much carbs as I probably need, because I'm noticing already like slight energy declines in the gym.
So this should make a big difference, because this only has like 1 gram of fat, and that has like infinity fat.
However, I was experiencing mental benefits. Since I was eating less during the day, I was able to work more, and I was more focused because I wasn't bogged down by brain fog from the food. Plus, in the gym, I was loving my quicker, chiller workouts, and everything was going smoothly. till it wasn't. About 4.5 weeks in, it felt like I lost all my strength overnight. Maintenance weight that I was using this entire period was starting to feel heavy, and I found myself getting less reps with less weight than before the mini cut. But I told myself that I would do 6 weeks, so after 10 more days of dips in strength and spikes in hunger, I was done. And I went from my peak weight ever of 189 pounds to 171 pounds. I was noticeably leaner, and I saw the return of the 4-pack of abs instead of the 2. And I felt small. My muscles were depleted and flat, which just offset any satisfaction I would have had with my appearance. But I didn't freak out and turn around and start cramming in 4,500 calories a day. I transitioned to a lean bulking phase, adding around 500 to 700 calories from where I was at. And then I filled back out. Definitely the best difference I noticed was since my arms lost some fat, once I got some food and a pump, they looked better than they ever have. While I wish I could say my strength came back just as fast as it left, it didn't. That last week or two really took a toll on my strength, and since I wasn't turning around and cramming 5K calories to get my bench back up, it took some time. So all in all, was the mini cut worth it? And should you do it? Despite the downsides, I honestly am glad that I did it. In my opinion, the mental benefits from taking a break from eating and seeing new definition outweighed getting my strength back. However, I can't help but think that if I would have cut it short to only 4 or 5 weeks, it would have been more optimal. So for those who have a long journey of growing ahead that know a cut is nowhere near in sight, I would say give it a shot, but make sure it is after a solid phase of serious growth. Don't rush into one because you've been bulking for a month and your abs are a little blurry. If you're in your first couple years of training and want all the knowledge and tools that will allow you to fully optimize your fitness journey and essentially put you on the fast track for gains, then all I ask is that you consider checking out my fitness course. Inside, you'll gain access to hours of video content diving into exactly how to perfect your nutrition, training, supplementation, mindset, and more. As well as you'll get 5 completely different training programs. My goal with creating this was for you to get it and feel like you never need to buy another program or hire a coach because you know exactly what you need to do. So if you're interested, the link to that as well as my free arm workout blueprint is in the description below. If you have any additional thoughts, please comment below. I hope this video helped you. That's all I got. Bye-bye.